If you spend a good majority of your day either sitting at an office or commuting to and from work or driving for work, there's a good chance that your lower back pain is caused by an instability of your core, or rather an inability of your glutes to fire and work properly with your core. If this sounds like you, go ahead and try out these 5 exercises, and they should mitigate and prevent in the long run your lower back pain from returning. But just a disclaimer, lower back pain is hard to diagnose when you are not face to face with someone, as there is a multitude of reasons for it. I have just seen in my years of personal training, the most common causes of lower back pain and the instability in the core and people's inability to use their glutes with their core simultaneously is a huge problem for lower back pain occurrence. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started on the 5 exercises. So for this first exercise, this is called the wall press. Now, with this exercise, it does have 5 connection points, and it's a really good opener of just the chest in general, but it also works really well for your lower back with the first movement that I'm going to explain here. Stand about 2 inches away from the wall, place your arms up against the wall, palms facing forward, almost in like a cross shape. There should be a gap between your low back and the wall. What I want you to do is consciously think as hard as you can about smashing that low back into the wall, getting your core nice and tight. From there, you are going to tuck your chin, bringing it down flat towards your neck, and then you're going to press the back of your head into the wall. Next, you are going to press the backs of your shoulders into the wall. Then you're going to press your elbows into the wall, and then finally you're going to press your wrists into the wall. You're gonna keep those 5 connection points simultaneously as you're holding this exercise. While it is a great exercise for just general overall mobility and stability of your entire spine and your upper body, but it's very important for the purposes of lower back pain that you focus on keeping that lower back smashed into the wall. You're gonna repeat that for about 5 to 8 reps of 10-second holds, and then move on to the next exercise. All right, for this next exercise, this is the McGill sit-up. You're gonna lay flat on the floor on your back, legs straight out in front of you, arms directly at your sides, palms down. First thing you're going to do is bring one leg up towards your knee is up towards the ceiling, foot is flat on the ground. Next, you're going to grab the hand of the same side of the leg. You are going to find a little gap in your lower back on that side. Go ahead, place your hand just directly underneath that part of your lower back. Take a big breath in through your diaphragm, so think belly breathing. Try not to do so much through your chest. Big breath in, and at the top, go ahead and hold. Smash just like we did with the wall press. So you're smashing that low back, getting everything nice and tight, and then you're going to bring your head up just about 1/2 inch to 1 inch off the floor. Hold that for about 5 seconds, and then coming back down. Now for this exercise, it's important to realize that it's not a crunch. What I want you to think about is there's a string attached to your forehead, and it is pulling you straight up towards the ceiling. So you're going up in a direct motion, direct line, if you will. It's just simply big breath in, smash that hand underneath your low back so you have good core tension, and then bringing that head up off the ground, straight up to the ceiling or sky, depending on where you're doing this, and holding for about 5 seconds. Now, if you feel this in your neck, 1 of 2 things could be happening. One that I would like you to try is smash your lower back even harder, really try to keep that core stability. And number 2, you're going up too high. You don't need to go up too high for this exercise, just a little bit will do the trick. And again, just really focus on keeping that core nice and tight. Do 8 reps of 5-second holds and move on to the next exercise. The next exercise is a very common one that many of you have probably seen before, and it is a hip bridge. For this one, you're going to lay flat on the floor, bring both those feet up towards you, up on the bottoms of your feet, knees up towards the ceiling. Put your hands at your sides. Your legs should be about shoulder width apart, so your feet shoulder width apart from each other, and they should be just a little bit farther than reaching distance with your hands. So you should barely be able to touch your heels or barely be missing your heels as you're reaching for them. That's how you know that's a good, comfortable starting position. Everyone's gonna be a little bit different, and I'll talk about that in a second. Press those arms into the ground, smash hard, and then I want you to do the same thing again where you're smashing that low back into the ground. No need to take a deep breath here. Before you then come up, squeezing your glutes, bringing them straight up towards the ceiling, squeezing as hard as you can, and then bringing them back down. You're gonna hold that for about 3 to 5 seconds at the top. Go ahead and do about 2 to 3 reps, see where you're feeling that. If you're feeling it more in your hamstrings, then what I want you to do is go ahead and bring those feet, the heels of your feet, closer towards you. That should take some tension off your hamstrings and should make it easier for you to feel it in your glutes. This is where we're trying to feel this entire exercise. Now, if you're feeling it more in your quads, the front of your legs, go ahead and move your feet a little bit farther away from you. So make it so that they're a little bit farther than touching distance from your hands. This should help you feel it more in your glutes. And once you've found an ideal position, go ahead and repeat the exercise till you get to about 8 to 10 reps, holding each rep for about 5 seconds. Really focus on squeezing those glutes and starting with a tight core, so smashing your low back into the ground before you start the exercise, coming up, squeeze, hold for 5 seconds, come down, repeat that for about 8 to 10 reps. All right, for this next exercise, this is a side plank. For this one, go ahead and get on one side of your body. Let's just go ahead and say the right side. Make sure throughout the exercise that your elbow is directly underneath your shoulder and your hips are gonna be in a 45-degree angle. So there's gonna be a slight bend in your hips and your knees are gonna be bent at about a 90-degree angle, both stacked on top of each other. From this position, you're then going to press up from the floor through your elbow and through your knee, holding that position for about 20 seconds. It's important as you do this to make sure that you keep everything nice and perpendicular with the ceiling, making sure that your hips aren't rocking either forward or backwards, and making sure that your neck is nice and neutral. You're not, twisting your neck in any way. You're trying to keep everything nice and straight, and you're just holding this position from your elbow and from your knee for about 20 seconds. So once you've held for 20 seconds on one side, you can go ahead and start slowly increasing that as time goes on, 30 seconds, 40 seconds, but it's important that you do not go too long on this. You're not going to fatigue. You're really just trying to essentially warm up, turn on that spine, increase that stability in the frontal plane. Once you've done one side, go ahead and switch to the other side. Same exact rules apply. Elbow underneath the shoulder, everything stacked on top of each other. Repeat again for 20 or however long you did on the other side. And the final exercise in these 5 exercises is the bird dog. Get on all 4, so our hands are gonna be directly underneath our shoulders, our knees are gonna be directly underneath our hips. Neck is neutral, and then from there, first thing I want you to do, again, is make sure that your core remains stable by bracing your core like someone's gonna punch you in the stomach. And the first move to this exercise is simply kick that right leg back, making sure that you're feeling that glute squeeze, keeping that core nice and tight again throughout the exercise, and then go ahead and pick up that left arm and bringing it up towards about ear level. Now, if this is too difficult for you with your arm and your leg up, go ahead and just kick that right leg back, keeping that glute squeeze and holding that position for the duration of the exercise, and slowly work to being able to maintain your core stiffness as you're bringing that opposite arm up as well. It's very important that you keep the core tight in this exercise because it's very common that people will want to rock their hips to kind of compensate to make it easier for you to be able to hold the exercise, but you want to keep everything nice and straight. You should limit all spinal and hip movement as you're doing this, so you should not see any kind of excessive rocking or any kind of excessive leg kicking up. It's just a subtle kickback to where you feel that glute engaging and your arm should get about in level with your ear. So you're gonna then hold that end position for about 20 seconds and then repeat the same steps on the other side. So for the other side, you're just kicking that left leg back, bringing that right arm up, keeping that core nice and tight, holding for 20 seconds or wherever you're comfortable with. Awesome, so these were the 5 exercises that I've really seen help my clients and help myself deal with lower back pain. If they've helped you, go ahead and please hit that like and subscribe button for more. I'll be doing more videos like this addressing different areas of pain in the body, and because the human body is so complicated, there will be a vast array at some point of more videos like this to help people stay out of pain and get back to activities that they enjoy. We also do yoga videos, we love hiking, we love the outdoors, and we just want to be able to keep people going out there and enjoying and experiencing life like they should be able to. So if that sounds good to you, I'll see you next time. You take care. Thanks for watching, homies.